Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Uncensored and unafraid, digging in to a little CBA stuff. Now, what's wild is when it first came out that it was signed, one of the things I mentioned in the video didn't go into a whole lot of detail, but I basically said, this is kind of what the owners have been offering since last fall. I don't know why the players are making such a big deal and taking this victory lap like they got everything they wanted. And now that is blowing up, and I'm seeing lots of people talk about that. So we're going to dig into it a little more because there's another thing that they're not talking about at all either, which is part of it, which makes a big difference. But you have the players talking about how transformational this is, Brianna Stewart and NECA, and you've got the media, of course, because the media are nothing but WNBA player cheerleaders. Not so much cheerleaders for the league, they're cheerleaders specifically for the players. They're activists. That's what the media are. We don't really have any good WNBA media people. And as you can see here, WNBA fans, star players. Oh, by the way, I mentioned it in another video. If you didn't see, having camera issues, this is one I probably would have been on camera for. So you might see some highlights just to give you something to look at. Apologies. WNBA fans, star players are big winners in CBA, but Kathy Engelbert is among the losers. Okay, so let's dig in. What are we talking about? Why is Kathy a loser? Why are the players such winners? We got some quotes here for you. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. NECA said that this redefines what it means to be a professional in this league. We always told you this. I love this, cracks me up. We always told you we were going to stand on business, and that's what this looks like. She wrote on social media. NECA wrote on social media. For the first time, player salaries are tied to a truly meaningful share of league revenue, driving exponential growth in the salary cap, increasing average compensation beyond $500,000. Uh, so that's what this looks like. Okay, so the players initially wanted like 30% of revenue, salary cap $10 million to start. The league had offered 5.65 million for a salary cap, well, basically 15% of total revenue. They were offering it as a much higher for net, but it roughly was 15% total revenue. Guess what? Salary cap 7, pretty lot closer to the 5.65. Revenue 20%, a lot closer to the 15. Basically, the league won this, folks. I mean, we're seeing this spin all over the place. And look, look, that's the thing. If we're comparing it to the last CBA, thanks to Caitlin Clark, it is tremendous. But the players acting as if they got everything they were asking for, and we knew from day one what they were asking for was delusional. And now they're acting like they got all of that. That is simply not the case. Simply not the case. I think we got a couple other here because I want to get into a couple other things. Now, yeah, WNBA fans, because the 2026 season is going to be played, players because of free agency and making money. We're going to talk about that in another video too. Of course, it'll help incoming college players. It doesn't, yeah, this, see, and this, I want to get into this. I'm not going to get into detail because I'm not really here to get into the politics of this. I mean, I think most people know when I say the players are activists, but this just goes to the media again. This is absurd, right? This is absurd. Let this sink in. I want you to think about this. They talking about the pay us what you owe us shirts, which by the way got a lot of backlash from all of us, if you recall, right? They thought it was nasty. We thought it was nasty that they would do that at the All-Star game. And yet here are this wonderful WNBA media outlet. 8 months later, it appears the striking visual of players collectively wearing the shirts could be viewed as one of the more pivotal moments of these CBA negotiations. That is one of the dumbest sentences I've ever read. I think I am dumber now for having read it. The players communicated with one voice, give us better pay and benefits. So basically, what all employees throughout history have said to their employer when they're going to strike. That's something we wanted to make well known. In the bubble, here we go. In the bubble, we always knew how to make a stand with some t-shirts. So we did that today. NECA said, we look forward to negotiating our fair share and our value. Wow. So, like I always, like activists are always activists first. They're always activists. They get in talking about the Black Lives Matter T-shirts, and by the way, they got the Atlanta Dream owner to. They forced her to sell because she didn't want this. Not that she wanted any other. It wasn't that she wanted politics to play or disagree with. She just didn't want her players getting political. She wanted them to focus on basketball, which makes sense when you lose money every single year. But no, think about that. So you just had that sentence about it was a pivotal part of the CBA negotiations was wearing T-shirts at the All-Star game. In the bubble, we always know how to make a stand with some T-shirts. That may be the second dumbest sentence I've ever read, back to back. The intelligence level, it ain't high, folks. It ain't high. I mean, this to me is this where is a sentence like this where a keyboard warrior came from? You're not going to go out and actually make real change in the world. BLM didn't, by the way. How are those mansions? I'm just saying. I have nothing against actually helping people to better themselves, but everyone who supported it, everyone got scammed. That was just the organizations funneling them money into their own pockets and buying mansions. So I don't know about wearing T-shirts making a difference. I'm just saying maybe get out in the real world and do something. I don't know. Maybe go down to the local soup kitchen and serve some of the homeless. There's an idea. You could try that. Anyway, that's going to get me into a completely different topic, and I really will get uncensored and unafraid. And I wanted to finish this off. Maybe I'll do another video. No, I'll finish it all. I'll see if I can finish it off here. I actually wanted to do another video on this, but we'll add it here because this is something also no one is talking about. Or actually, I got two things before we even get into this, which I know you can already see. By the way, shout out Sportico for being the only organization I think who's really put this front and center, and for using Aaliyah Boston. Kudos. Um, but before I get to that, by the way, 7-year deal. Remember one thing? What did I keep saying when they started the negotiations? Y'all remember? Get what you can get. Get an opt out after 3 years. And if you have proven the ratings are more than Caitlin Clark and they continue to grow, you can then get that transformational deal that you want. Well, guess what, folks? The CBA is 7 years. Guess when the opt out is? After six. Six. This deal is locked in for 6 years. And as you can see, 52 games over the course of the CBA that we're going to be expanding to. That is 8 out of 44, 2 out of 11. What is that like? 18% increase, something like that. WNBA season poised to expand to 52 games over a course of CBA. Let's see where. So the verbal agreement allows for the season to expand to 50 games and eventually 52 games over the length of the bargaining agreement, according to one of the people. Now, the reason I was roughly calculating that percentage is because the salary cap is going to increase to I think 10 million over the life of it, but that's 7 years away. So obviously that's more than the games. Three. It's almost a 50, like 40 some percent increase. So it's almost the salary cap increase is almost double what the game increases, although of course you factor in inflation. And anyway, let's not get into the weeds. Let's not get in the weeds. Back up, back the truck up. But anyway, they're offsetting salary cap growth with more games, and rightfully so. That's the thing I've said all along about any of it. Look, if you're going to continue to make more and more and more money, you're going to have to play more games. You've seen it happen in the NFL, right? Of course, the NBA is so soft, they want to reduce the number of games. But anyway, so yeah, so expand to 50 games and eventually 52. The conversations are going to be interesting because where does that get in? Do we condense the schedule a little more? Because you don't want to go too much into the fall because you've got college football and the NFL. Forget about the NBA starting and NHL starting. The big one, college, not, and yes, there is crossover. Y'all raise your hands if you watch other sports, right? So that's going to be very interesting. You don't want to, I don't see, I mean, they could do it. I don't see how they start earlier just because of the way their season is and that when the college draft is. So it would go later into the season. So that's going to be interesting. So you can see here regular season games gotten longer. Yeah, it actually, and that was, we know why that happened, but it would just keep stepping up, stepping up, step. Now look, the numbers on the side aren't that big, right? Like this one here is 32. So 32 all the way up to here is 44, but then it's going to take another jump to 52. So that's going to obviously, in terms of what they're getting paid, I don't want to say decreases the increase, but you know what I'm saying there, right? So this idea of the players basically dog walked the league and got everything they wanted, untrue. But the media, of course, is going to spin it that way. Anyway, I kind of ranted. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you so much. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Oh, by the way, last thing, shout out to the 19. I should have said it at the beginning of the video because only like two of you left now. But anyway, the last 2 weeks, I think, or like the first 2 week period where I've actually had a positive subscriber number since the season ended last October, I think. So anyway, thank you for that. Appreciate it. I will talk to you later.